Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with Joe Ritlin. I'm Joe Ritlin, and these are 10 WWE talents that I feel will shine for the next decade. Now, does that mean that they're going to stay in WWE for 10 years? No. But they would have to at least shine for 5 or more years, and I think these are talents that are probably going to stick around for 7 or 8, unless, of course, they decide to leave, or injuries, or various other circumstances. Provided everything stays good, these are talents that should be around for the next 10 years or more, but probably just closer to 10 years. Criteria, I'm not going to include Charlotte or Asuka or Ronda Rousey or Natty or others, not just because of age, and nothing against age. I mean, some people wrestle into their 40s just fine, but also they're entrenched in wrestling. Ronda less so, but they're already going to promote Ronda as a big star. Same with talents like Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. Again, age and stuff like that, but also how they've been promoted. There's no reason why those talents should be mentioned here. This is going to go with youth and also people that they recently signed and how they've been promoting them. So, tag teams will count as one. And I was originally going to do 15 and decided just do 10. So leave in the comments ones that you feel should be that you would include, or do your own show. I mean, that's one thing I'm trying to encourage with more people, more wrestlers that want, more wrestling fans rather, that want to talk about wrestlers and wrestling and do their own YouTube channels. Do your own videos. You can say I gave you the idea for the show if you want. You can credit me, or you can say it was your own idea. I don't really care. I'm not saying I'm the first person to do this. I'm certainly not going to say that, but you can say I inspired you if you want. But I'm just a wrestling fan, same as you guys. Just having fun with this stuff. Not a reporter, not a journalist, not going to claim to be all that bullshit. Because sorry, a lot of them, 95% of them, yeah, bullshit. Whatever. That's my little rant for there. Number 10, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Eventually they'll split them off. Eventually. Like, it's going to have to happen. Peyton will probably stay the heel. Billie will probably be the babyface. Peyton was trained by Lance Storm. Billie Kay is just a step behind her as far as wrestling ability, and that's nothing against Billie. I think both are very good in the ring, especially given the fact that they haven't been given the biggest amount of meat for angles to sink their teeth into. Both can be vegans, I don't know. But the whole point is they haven't been given a lot to sink their teeth into. They've done the best that they can with it. I see some great things for them happening on SmackDown. Maybe they do a tag team title for the women. Except you would have to have the champions on one particular brand and tour to Raw and tour to NXT to really promote this thing as being a big deal. Because you can't have tag titles on every single show. In fact, you shouldn't even have tag titles on Raw and SmackDown. You should have tag titles just on one show. NXT, I get it, because it's its own brand. But you really can't be doing that. And with the women, you would have to have it go between all three brands. And just have that. But Billie and Peyton would be perfect if they decided to do that. And yes, Impact Wrestling did the whole thing first. They did the whole Knockouts tag titles, division first. Problem is their last champions were ODB and Eric Young because they had such a depleted roster, and they apparently just wanted to give the titles to them and then just have it mean nothing, which is unfortunate given the fact that even then they still had some good women on the roster, and it pretty much just pissed all over the hard work of the women that had forged the path for the at the time TNA Knockouts division, of course now Impact. But Billie and Peyton would be perfect choices if they decide to revive the idea of a tag team title in WWE. They did it before in the 80s. They had that. AWA had it. A lot of promotions had it where they would have them as traveling attractions and defend the titles and stuff like that. So it made sense. It would make sense for Peyton and Billie to be the first champions. But the thing is, you would have to have pairings from NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, and you would have to have them face off and, blow it at a big or not blow it at a small pay-per-view. Have it at a big pay-per-view. Have it at SummerSlam. Have it as something like that. Nurture this thing along. Have it start to happen in July or whatever, and then have it happen, a couple happen on NXT and stuff like that, and build to this. Have it be a three-team match, and have Billie and Peyton win it. But I see some big things for them. Will one of them be, women's champion of the year, SmackDown or Raw? Both could be at some point. But who knows when that's going to happen. It's going to be some big things for them, though. Provided the injuries don't happen, I see no reason why these two women can't be stalwarts of the WWE women's division. Not the Women's Revolution. Stephanie can piss off with that whole name. Number 9, Nikki Cross. There's no way Nikki Cross could not be booked or could not be seen as a big star in the making. She was really good on the indies. She's been great, underutilized drastically in WWE, even though she was part of Sanity, and may still seemingly be part of Sanity. She could be called up with them soon. Let's not just take the graphic as it is. But who knows what's going to happen? Who absolutely knows what's going to happen with Nikki Cross? But after that great match she had with Asuka on NXT TV, the Falls Count Anywhere women's match, why isn't Nikki Cross being used better? She should be. I see some big things for her. I mean, maybe it doesn't last beyond 7 years, but I see some big things with her. I think she's got a unique look, got a unique wrestling ability. Promo, whatever. She hasn't really been given a ton of promo time. She's an equal part mix of scary and adorable at the same time, and that's kind of frightening. Beautiful woman, by the way. She could shine and be a perfect example for women that are alternatives. Same with Ruby Riott. And Ruby Riott is somebody I almost put on here, but Ruby seems to be featured a little bit better. Nikki's almost been forgotten about. So now we go to number 8, Bianca Belair. I hate the hair whip thing. I do. Sorry. I think it's stupid. But I can't deny the athleticism of that young lady. And her and, I believe, Montez Ford of the Street Profits are engaged. Great. Seriously, great. Hope they're going to be happy together. Good that they found young love. Bianca's a tremendous talent, though. Very strong despite her small frame. Very athletic. For how little bit she's been in the ring and of how apparently, I guess, is her second, maybe third year in wrestling, she's doing this well. Great for her. Big things are in order. Maybe get rid of the goddamn hair whip thing. But again, I don't get it. There are people that like it, and that's fine. I don't get it. But she's a great athlete, and she could definitely shine. Same with Vanessa Bourne, but that's an honorable mention. Number 7, Ricochet. The guy was a sensation in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma. He did great things with Will Ospreay and others in New Japan. He's dazzled people in other indie promotions. Ricochet is already a well-established name and a world-traveled star. If WWE plays it right and don't put him in 205 Live, they're going to put him in 205 Live, then he could be somebody. He could be somebody that could be U.S. champion, IC champion. Could he be WWE champion? I don't know. Sky is the limit for this guy. Because he is damn talented. I swear to God, the guy's not human. I swear to God, he has springs in his legs. If he stays virtually injury-free, sky is the limit for this guy. Ricochet is going to do tremendously well. Number 6, Killian Dane. I almost put Sandy as a whole on here. Alexander Wolf outside that group I don't think is going to be much. He'll be a mid-card jobber probably if they ever break up Sandy. Eric Young's got 3-4 years left in the business, maybe. I'm not trying to write him off, but he was an Impact for 12, 13 years? Close to it, I think about 13 actually. He's somebody that is certainly great, don't get me wrong, but he's on the downside of his career. Killian Dane, Big Damo on in the UK was a big sensation, literally and figuratively. And the guy really can go. He's an MVP of the War Games matches. He's insanely fast for his size. Very athletic. I mean, I almost decided to put Lars Sullivan on here. He's Lars and Killian Dane. I think Killian's just slightly more marketable than Lars. Lars could do very, very well for himself and could do some great things and be a monster on SmackDown if they decide to call him up. Or if they push Braun to SmackDown at some point and put Lars on Raw, then you could have these dueling monsters on a Survivor Series team. But Killian Dane, I think, has got the bigger upside. Just slightly. But Lars is a very well-spoken and very athletic guy. But Killian just has that certain it. And is really supremely skilled. Can't wait to see what else he does. Number 5, Andrade Cien Almas. Admittedly, I did not think that this guy was going to be more than just a good Mexican sensation in the ring, but just nothing more than when I saw him when he first came in. When he first came in as a babyface, and he was getting booed and everything because people didn't buy it. And that wasn't his fault because the guy's tremendous in the ring, whether he's babyface or heel, but turning heel and finding that extra spice, him and Zelina Vega. So Andrade doesn't have to cut promos because English ain't his best language, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why Zelina's there. Andrade can let his actions speak for himself instead of words. He can speak to the Hispanic fans and all that, but Zelina's there to translate and to cut the promos for him. Almost, if he's not WWE champion by sometime next year, I'll be amazed. He could be the one if they give it to Shinsuke at some point, maybe even by Backlash, and then they have Daniel Bryan beat Shinsuke at SummerSlam. They could have Almost beat Bryan at Survivor Series. They almost could get a rocket push and be champion by this year. I think 2019 is a little more likely, but you never know. You honest to God never know. It almost is great in the ring. Him and Zelina are just dynamite together. So yeah, I'll put Zelina with him here. Number 4, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa, with him, he's a tremendous heel. I don't know if people are going to buy him as much as a heel and a badass on the main roster, but I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, because Ciampa is just really great as a heel. I mean, maybe under Cody Rhodes, he's actually the best heel currently in wrestling, at least one of the top 3. And Gargano is just this tremendous babyface, Daniel Bryan levels of love from the NXT crowd, and his ability to just, command a crowd with his emotions and the great offense that he can produce. Gargano will have a bigger hill to climb, but I think has a bigger upside. Ciampa will do very well for a number of years as well, especially if he stays, if he doesn't suffer another horrible injury like he did with his knee. Even though they worked that into a great thing in TakeOver New Orleans, which, by the way, check out the review that the Durban and I did for that. Yes, it was a bit of a quick review because we had other things to do, but check it out. We really had fun with it, and it was a great event. Gargano and Ciampa really shined in that match, and that's why I've intertwined them here. Because they are going to be in lockstep. They are going to feud probably into Chicago. Take over Chicago. They'll feud onto the main roster. It'll be like the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens thing, but if you put them on separate brands, Gargano and Ciampa, then this will be the great thing. This will be like a great feud that they could have go off and on for another 5 to 7 years. And every match will be fresh. But both guys have tremendous upsides. Gargano has the bigger upside but the bigger hill to climb. Number 3, Adam Cole, B-Blade. No, Adam Cole. Adam Cole. I mean, I'm not going to try to do that bag thing, even though I just did. I'm sick of the Shawn Michaels comparisons, by the way. Let him be the first Adam Cole, not the next Shawn Michaels. Even though I just compared Johnny Gargano to having a Daniel Bryan, reaction as far as the love and everything. Johnny Gargano's his own man. Adam Cole's his own man. Adam Cole's, under 30? I think he's 28, 29. So he's got a good 7, 8 years of it, before anything starts to slow down around by the time he's near 40. And with all the great matches he had already in Ring of Honor and various other promotions, he's going to be somebody they can build on. He could be WWE champion by next year if they called him up to the main roster. He could be Universal champion. Have Adam Cole be the one to dethrone Reigns if Reigns wins the Universal title or whatever in Saudi Arabia, which is very, very, very likely to happen. I'm actually recording this the 22nd, so by the time this goes up, it may be just about time for the the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Greatest Royal Rumble, I think that's shooting awfully high. Because 1992, even this year, and a few other years, would like a word with you. 50 men, a bigger Rumble does not a better Rumble make. Think of the 2011 Rumble with 40. This better be 60-second intervals. Anyway, Adam Cole could definitely be a WWE champion or a Universal champion, depending on where they put him. And they keep the Undisputed Era with him. It's going to be great to see them dominate on the main roster. I would put them on Raw, quite frankly, because O'Reilly and Fish could certainly do well as tag champions. They'll never be more than tag champions in WWE, and I mean, that's pretty much their role. Number 2, this one might be, I don't know, maybe I'm showing my bias, I don't know, because I saw some big things in her even like last year when they were using her in job matches. Sonya Deville. She's 24, 25? she's got how many years ahead of her? Legit, fighting experience, great MMA training and everything. She's got all this, great background, and she's a great spokesperson for the LGBT community, being a lesbian, and it's great, open about it, and more talent should be able to be open about it and everything, and I hope that more people are. But also she's improving in the ring. That stuff she did with Ronda Rousey recently on an episode of Raw was pretty good. Of course, Sonya and Mandy Rose are now on SmackDown, and I'm sorry, Mandy just Mandy just isn't that good. She's just not. I mean, maybe she'll improve. Maybe pigs will fly. I mean, I just don't see it. But Sonya's the star out of it. Sonya is somebody that could be women's champion on both brands. I mean, obviously, maybe first on SmackDown, but it probably won't happen until sometime next year. And then maybe she could be champion on Raw if they switch her back at some point. Sky's the limit for her. Like, really, there's something special they really have with her. Her promos are, but she hasn't gotten a ton of mic time. Maybe she's going to be able to express herself a little more once she gets some proper mic time. But she can be a destroyer. Let her actions speak for her. Speak for her. Have Sonya versus Ronda sometime next year. I mean, you don't have to have it this year. Unless Ronda's part of like Team Raw and you have Team SmackDown, you have Sonya on there and you have them face off, which would be kind of cool. But other than that, sky's the limit for her. This young lady is going to do very, very well. And number one, the Velveteen Dream. There are two things that could stop Velveteen Dream. Himself or WWE Creative. That's it. I mean, those are two pretty big things, but as long as WWE Creative doesn't turn him into a comedy star, that man is 22 years old. He's going to be 23 this year. The insane athletic ability he already has, he already possesses, is massive. It's just absolutely massive. Now, I almost put the UK guys on here, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, stuff like that. I don't know how well they're going to be featured. And I love Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and a few of the other UK talents that they have signed. I don't know if that's necessarily going to work. Velveteen is just going to shine and shine unless he gets in his own way. There's no other way other than WWE being stupid with him that he can be anything other than a raging success. This guy is money. He is absolute money. And I thought the gimmick was going to be stupid. When I saw the whole vignettes, I'm like, oh, the Velveteen, what the hell's this shit? And when I first saw the gimmick, I'm like, okay, it's Prince mixed with Jimi Hendrix. Princey Hendrix. Alright. Oh, he has a really good diving elbow. And he crazy athletic. And it's Patrick Clark from Tough Enough. Alright, that's a bit odd. But then that feud with Aleister Black happened, and I go, oh, this is going to be good. And that match sold me on Velveteen Dream being a massive success. This guy's going to be great. Absolutely great. I don't know if Goldust is retired, but if they can have Goldust appear and face Velveteen on a takeover or something, or whatever, or maybe even have a face-off next year in the Rumble and have Velveteen as a surprise entrant, that's going to be a great moment. They don't ever have to have a full-fledged feud unless you call Velveteen up right away. That'd be kind of cool passing of the torch. Velveteen Dream's the number one guy. I think that he could be the first black WWE champion since The Rock. And yes, Mark Henry was the world champion. World title and WWE title are different. I'm not knocking Mark Henry. I'm just, let's play facts here. Velveteen Dream could certainly shine. And again, the only thing that could stop him, himself, or WWE Creative being stupid. The second of which is more likely. I hope not. Anyway, that's what I gotta say. Who are some talents that you think are going to shine in WWE? And yes, I mentioned some other names, yada, yada. Okay, who are some names that you think I missed that could really shine for the next decade? Decade plus, if you'd like. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.